Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of SRX, the game. And in today's video, we're back in the dirt late models headed to Madison Lake. Now Madison Lake, if you don't remember it from the 305s, is more of a stadium atmosphere indoor facility with multiple tiers of seating, which makes it a great atmosphere for racing. Can't wait to get there, but take a look in the bottom right hand corner. We got some work to do on the car, namely that suspension. It's time for an upgrade there, so we'll head over to the garage. Now you might notice that in the top right hand corner, our money is not the same as when we were last together. That's because I've been playing around a little bit with the other divisions, seeing how the hire a driver function works, and when you send another driver rather than driving the car ourselves to the different events, in this case the 305s, exactly how does that work? And it's actually kind of interesting to me how they've got this all laid out, and I'm really enjoying the added depth to the career mode in the game. So I think in the very near future, we're going to do a video dedicated to going through a season using nothing but hired drivers, just to show you guys, if you haven't already experienced that, exactly how much fun it can be. So, but first things first, let's hop into the suspension. And we're going to head over to level 3. And once again, we got enough money for this one. But for right now, we're going to stick with 29 of 30 and 40% durability, just to keep things simple and standard with the way we've been doing it. Now, one thing this does mean is that we should have plenty of money in the future to ultimately purchase these upgrades if we want to in all the divisions that we run, from the 305s, super lates, and so on. So that may be something we want to do in the future. But for right now, we're going to stick with the top right-hand quadrant. And now that means we need to go back over and we're going to sell this part. Not going to get a whole lot of money for it, but that's okay. We don't need the money. So that's going to leave us with $69,815. But most importantly, we are now upgraded 97% of the way. And that is what we're looking for. Now, I also want to do full repairs on everything, rather than just the tires, which is all we really need to repair. So let's go ahead and do that, get everything back up to the full 29 overall, and that gives us 116 out of 120 on car performance. So we're very close to being fully upgraded. In fact, I'm basically going to treat it as fully upgraded. And what I may do from time to time, just to see how much difference those last 4 points make, I may run some quick race sessions and just see what kind of lap times I run with the same setup that I use here in the career mode, and we'll just see, does it make any difference at all? And if it does, just how much difference is there? But we finished 12th in our very first race in the dirt late models. Interested to see what we can do at Madison Lake. Practice and qualifying all taken care of, and things have gone quite well. Best lap in practice, 11:307. And in qualifying, I just could not find the rhythm. So 11:51 was the best I could do there. A couple of tenths off. But overall, things have gone very well. We will be starting on the pole in heat number 3.
The top two move on to the qualify dash.
All right, so we qualified 3rd overall. That's why we're on the pole for heat number 3. But I'm really most interested in seeing, number 1, can I find some sort of rhythm? And number 2, what kind of speed do we have against these guys under race conditions? So let's see what we got. Pretty good start. But basically, this is all about finding a rhythm, finding where you want to run on the track, hitting your marks, all those sorts of things. But so far, the car's doing what I want it to do. I just don't exactly know what I don't know yet about these cars. I've spent a little bit of time in them just to get some setup information to see which way I wanted to go. All right, I'll take it so far. 10 lap race, we're about halfway through here. And you can see we're not going anywhere, not running away from these guys. All right, being nice and easy with the throttle. On corner entry, getting out of the gas, letting the car rotate, all of those things. Trying not to be overly aggressive, because here in the heat race, I want to try some different things. I want to see what works. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if that high line doesn't work pretty good here with all of the traffic we're likely to encounter. I'm wondering if that maybe is in play. Of course, you know me, I'm definitely hoping it is. Because if it's in play, then that means we can have a lot of fun. Because passing cars in these things, as big and wide as they are, is going to be, well, interesting. I'm expecting a lot of contact when we get to the feature. But yeah, this could turn into a demolition derby. The track is plenty wide enough, but we'll just have to see what happens with the racing groove. So we bring home the victory in our qualifier. Now we need to head to the dash. All right, so we know we're going into the A main. That's not the issue. Now we need to figure out where we're going to be starting. And of course, the closer to the front we can get, the better off we will be. We're going to be dealing with a lot of traffic. Oh, hello. Hey, come on through if you need to. Try to get down here. Oh, hello. There's more contact for us. Just in case we were wondering. If these guys, hey, will these guys take the low side if we leave it open, even if it means they can't make the corner? The answer to that is yes. Yes, they will. Ooh, that yellow car, he got a great run through there. And that was not a dive bomb. That was him just trying. That was more of a dive bomb. What he just did right there. So it does get interesting when these guys come through. And keep in mind, we're in the qualifying dash. So these are the fastest cars based on qualifying times and then, of course, finish in the heat race. So these are the guys we're going to be racing for a victory and a podium in the main. All right, this guy in front of us is putting down some decent lap times to the point I can't really do a lot with him. Trying to figure out how much I need to be on the gas. I mean, you can run this thing wide open if you want, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to make lap time and also to make sure we can hit the groove we want to run. I'm also getting some love taps from behind. He's tapping us in the left rear every so often, which doesn't help out the cause any. If I can get right down to the bottom, then we're in pretty good shape. So I'm certainly not upset about a second place in the qualifying dash. I feel like I've learned a few things. Let's see if we can put them to use in the A main. Here we go. It's time for the A main. I made a couple of changes to the setup, trying to get a little bit more bite coming off the corner. So we'll see if this works. The car is rotating nicely, so that wasn't an issue. All right, let's see. Again, contact early on, and then how well we can get through the traffic. So let's see. Yeah, it's easy to get to the bottom. It is very difficult, however, to get off the corner with a lot of speed when you get down there. So we're going to try to get down here. Oh, maybe over-rotated a bit right there. Didn't lose much, though. We just over-rotated a bit to the point where you feel like you're just about to lose it and spin out the car. That's when you know you've gone a bit too far. All right, somehow we find ourselves in the lead. I wasn't expecting that. I was really hoping that we would have an opportunity maybe for the lead once we got to some lap traffic. But right now, we're already in the lead and doing quite well, I must say. I'm looking in the mirror behind us every so often, just a quick glance. And these guys are not breathing down our throat just yet. So I'm just going to try to put down some good laps. And then whenever the traffic comes, trying to figure out the best way to get through them. You also notice I'm trying to enter the corner a bit higher. And that's because based on what I'm seeing in front of me, we're going to need to maybe use that higher groove. Either that or we're just going to have to root and gouge some of these guys out of the way. I'm not sure which. Oh, look out. All right, that guy completely lost it and then never gave up. He was going to get into my side the entire way fighting for that lead lap position. All right, so far, the bottom is proving to be okay. These guys are giving me enough room. Maybe not without a little contact along the way, but so far so good. And once again, I have not brought up the leaderboard to show us exactly what type of gap we have to second. And that's because it's a little bit more fun for me to not know that information. I wish we had a spotter that could tell us that information, but in the absence of that, I kind of enjoy not knowing. That way I just keep driving as if he's right behind me. Yeah, car's doing just fine. At this point, you're not really worried about a lap time, as those don't mean a whole lot as you're working your way through traffic. You might get a lap here and there where you can really see what you've got when you've got a little bit of an open track, but right now, not a whole lot of that happening. Oh, some love taps between the AI in front of us. So we'll try to take advantage of that, get to the inside, and be on our way. So far, nobody has body slammed us. We've had contact, but nobody has just really run us over going into the corner, which I keep waiting for. All right, we're up to now 12th, lapping the field. You can see 12th right in front of us. You can also hear the roar of that engine as we are just hard on the throttle coming off the corner. Again, trying to be pretty delicate with it overall, but once I get back to the throttle, the way the car is set up and the way it drives overall, I can really get into it pretty hard without having to worry about upsetting the car, and that is always a good thing. All right, these guys are all jammed together. I see plenty of contact. Well, what little I can see in front of us, because quite a bit of dust when they're three wide. And right now, really, I'm just hoping they don't wreck in front of us. All right, no idea what lap we're on or any of that kind of stuff. I'll have to look at that whenever I get a chance. But for right now, we're just trying to survive in the middle of some lap traffic. All right, there's 8th position in front of us. We'll try to scoot to the inside of him. Oh, and they're trying hard to wreck in front of us again. As 7th position is trying to move his way through some lap traffic. Ouch. No idea where that love tap came from. Could have been 2nd place for all I know. Ouch, that was more contact. I don't know how much room I can give you. I'm all the way down the bottom when I'm passing these guys. So they got at least 2 grooves up there. Don't know how much more I can give them. All right, 23 laps to go. There we go. I knew I was getting an opportunity to eventually see that. A little bumpy down here. You can hear me. I'm off the throttle a lot right now. Basically, oh, hello. We got caught in the right rear there. And somebody was really trying to help us get through the corner backwards. But this is where it's definitely all about positioning the car and making sure you're pointed in the right direction, and the rotation is good and all that. All those things are much more important than how often you're in the gas with these things. Because I'm out of the gas a lot. Oh, again, right rear. Man, these guys are just all over us. And keep in mind, we're lapping them. So they are taking no prisoners. They don't want anybody lapping them or passing them at all, whether it's for position or not. So we got 17 laps to go. Now, whenever I do get down onto what we'll call the apron here, whenever we get down off the banking a little bit, I am very careful with the gas because it can really turn the car quickly when you get down there, and that's not something I really need. Now, pay attention to in front of us. It just flashed up, or at least I just noticed it. We're ready to lap. Third position. Third position, folks. So not only are we in the lead, but we know where third position is. And because we are right alongside them right now. So, man, traffic is thick right now. So I don't know where second is, but I know third place is in no danger of passing us for position. Wow, this is wild. Again, I'm just trying to mind my own business, stay down here. We'll be 11 laps to go. Okay. I'm not using a lot of brake. I use the brake a little bit on corner entry. As soon as I get out of the throttle, ouch, it's more right rear contact. They are wearing our right rear out. It's going to look like we were into the wall a lot based on the fact that our right rear has got to be all chewed up. But yeah, a little bit of brake on corner entry just to, once again, calm down the car, set the nose, those kinds of things. But that's about it, really. Oh, hello, Smith. Smith was having his own issues in front of us there, and I can relate. Been there a lot. You can see him right now. He's still going through some issues. All right, I have not seen anybody else as far as what position they're in other than Smith. Saw Smith. Woo. Got hit in the right rear there again and almost turned into the wall. But these cars are so much fun to drive. And of course, I love these venues. Where you have an upper deck and a lower deck with fans, and I mean, it's just, of course, I can't even imagine the amount of dust in an enclosed atmosphere like it. I mean, you have to have some serious fans to try to keep this air circulating because the dust is unreal. But that part aside, you can see even the damage is starting to mount up. We've been hitting the right rear so many times that now we've actually taken some very real damage. All right, 2 laps to go. And if we can survive these 2 laps, then one of the things I really want to know is, did we lap second place? Did we literally lap the field? I have no idea. By the way, we're on expert difficulty. I did not lower it, because expert difficulty is our default, and that's what we're running. Wow, we got the victory. It's always nice to get victories, but that was dominating. So we didn't quite lap the entire field. Second position was, what were they, about 8 seconds behind, so they were no threat to pass us for position, but everybody else is at least 1 lap down through 8th, and then from 9th on down is at least 2 laps down, so we were putting it on them today. And that's certainly not something I thought was going to happen given what we saw in both the heat race as well as the qualifying dash. So I didn't think we were going to have this kind of speed. I thought we might have a shot at the win if we came through the traffic really good, but I certainly did not see this type of victory. All right, so the final results. Let's see how much money we made out of this. What was it, 17 grand? It was the race purse. But of course, most importantly, are the points. What that does for us in this overall season standings. That is amazing. So 17 grand plus our sponsor and merch payouts. 26,552. Yeah, we're going to be able to do some upgrades to all of our cars. Not just the Dirt Late model, which we've now, for all intents and purposes, fully upgraded for the time being. But we're going to be able to go back to the Super Late and upgrade it. We're going to be able to upgrade the 305, and maybe, if we decide to down the road, get back into that stadium truck and do some upgrades on it as well. But yeah, this money is very much needed. Our other series and our other drivers in the other series are really going to appreciate that as we get them some much better equipment. But that's going to do it for today. And folks, It doesn't get much better than when you can bring home a race victory, especially as dominating as this was. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and stick around for more SRX, the game.